Welcome to the Daily History Podcast, where we unravel the threads of the past to weave the stories of our ancient world. Today, we march alongside the silent yet formidable ranks of the Terracotta Army, the eternal guardians of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. Join us as we unearth the secrets of this monumental find and explore its profound legacy. We venture back over 2 millennia to an era where the tapestry of what we now know as China was still a fragmented collection of warring states. It was in this crucible of conflict and ambition that one man emerged to forever alter the course of history: Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Born as Ying Zheng in 259 BC, he assumed the throne of the Qin state at the tender age of 13. A figure cloaked in equal parts awe and mystery, his early reign was marked by ruthless efficiency and an unquenchable thirst for conquest. By 221 BC, after a series of military campaigns that showcased both strategic brilliance and ferocity, Ying Zheng achieved the unprecedented. Under his rule, the Qin state vanquished the 6 other rival states, forging a unified empire. In doing so, he proclaimed himself Shi Huang Di, or First Emperor of a unified China. His regime set forth radical reforms, standardizing weights, measures, and even the writing system, an underpinning of cohesion for a vast and diverse land. Moreover, he oversaw the development of an extensive network of roads and canals, facilitating trade and mobility, and commenced the fortification of what would eventually become the Great Wall, a bulwark against northern incursions. Qin Shi Huang's empire was an epitome of centralized power, emblematic of a ruler's unyielding grip on the reign of a nascent superstate. Yet, amidst his titanic accomplishments, Qin Shi Huang was ensnared by the mortal coil that binds all humanity, the pursuit of immortality. Embracing the belief that he could transcend death and rule eternally, the emperor spared no expense. He dispatched alchemists to concoct elixirs of life and sent fleets into the unknown to find the fabled islands of the immortals. Little did he know that his search would yield a legacy far more enduring than elusive eternal life. Immortality, for Qin Shi Huang, was to be etched in clay rather than achieved in the flesh. Commanded by a vision that spurred him to cheat death's inevitable verdict, he commissioned a monumental project: the creation of the Terracotta Army, an enormous necropolis complete with thousands of life-size soldiers, horses, and chariots, arrayed in battle formation to guard him in the afterlife. Each figure is an individual masterpiece, a frozen soldier awaiting the emperor's call to arms in a world beyond our sight. Thus, we have set the stage for the silent congregation of warriors, lifeless yet whispered to be teeming with the spirit of an empire. The Terracotta Army, a manifestation of Qin Shi Huang's dream of eternity and a testament to his enduring legacy, awaits to divulge its narratives, stories of power, belief, and the timeless human endeavor to transcend the ultimate frontier, death itself. In the tranquil farmlands of Lintong District, just outside Xi'an, Shaanxi province, an astonishing historical page was about to be turned. It was March 1974 when a group of local farmers digging a well in search of water stumbled upon what would soon be recognized as one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century. As their shovels clinked against something harder than the earth and soil, the farmers unearthed fragments of pottery that seemed unusually intricate for typical agrarian life. Their initial thoughts ranged from curiosity to bewilderment. Some wondered whether these fragments were auspicious signs. Others feared they had disturbed a resting place and brought upon themselves bad omen. Nevertheless, their discovery would soon ripple far beyond their small village. The fragments, it turned out, were a part of a larger, life-sized clay warrior, the first glimpse of the Terracotta Army. As news of the discovery spread, the eyes of the world turned to this quiet part of China. Archaeologists arrived, and what was first a farmer's lucky strike quickly escalated into an extensive excavation. The initial reactions among the archaeologists were marked by a mix of elation and disbelief. They could scarcely believe that beneath the feet of these rural villagers lay an entire army in formation, silent yet magnificent, guarding the tomb of an ancient emperor. And this was but the beginning. As they delved deeper, they would unveil a legion thousand strong, each figure unique, standing as a silent but eloquent testament to a world-long past. We now delve into the very essence of what makes the Terracotta Army an engineering marvel of the ancient world. The sheer scale and complexity of the project hint at the sophisticated level of craftsmanship that the artisans of the time possessed. Excavations reveal that the creation of these figures was no small feat. It required both innovation and meticulous planning, the kind of organized labor that could only be managed under a powerful, centralized authority. Each warrior stands unique, a testimony to the individuality granted by their makers. Rather than uniform molds, the figures exhibit varying hairstyles, uniforms, and even facial expressions, signifying the different ranks and roles within the army. This diversity extends to the array of weaponry they hold: crossbows, spears, and swords, each painstakingly detailed and rendered in clay. Yet beyond their weapons and uniforms, what truly brings them to life is their imposing arrangement. Resembling battle formations of ancient China, the army is meticulously organized into ranks, with infantry, cavalry, and chariots all positioned in strategic readiness, as though awaiting the command to charge into an otherworldly combat. The process of constructing these figures is believed to have been labor-intensive and highly regimented. Historians speculate that molds were used for the bodies, with the limbs, heads, and more detailed features being sculpted by hand before assembly. This method allowed for the mass production needed to create an army of over 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses, and 150 cavalry horses. The figures were then fired in kilns, which must have been an enormous undertaking in itself, requiring precise temperature control to avoid the statues collapsing or exploding. After firing, the statues were painted, a practice common in many ancient cultures, though few contemporary observers could have guessed the soldiers once bore vibrant colors, now long faded with the passage of over 2 millennia. As we delve deeper into the Terracotta Army's enigmatic presence, we grapple with a question as enduring as the soldiers themselves. What was their ultimate purpose? Many theories have been proposed, each attempting to peer into the mindset of the first emperor and the cultural context of his time. It's often suggested that these figures were a manifestation of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's desire for eternal protection, his need to have a grand army at his command, even in the afterlife. Emperor Qin, a ruler obsessed with immortality, subscribed to the prevailing belief that the afterlife was a continuation of our earthly existence. Thus, the terracotta warriors, discovered in 1974 near the emperor's mausoleum, may have been constructed to accompany and defend him in the next world. The funerary art of the period reflects this notion, with burial goods not being mere tokens, but rather essential items intended to serve the departed on their journey into the realms beyond. In Qin's era, the afterlife was seen as a parallel realm where the spirits of the deceased would require similar necessities and securities as in their living years. The Terracotta Army, each figure uniquely detailed, perhaps stood as a potent symbol of Emperor Qin's military might, extending his dominion beyond death. This practice of creating life-sized figures to accompany the dead, though not common across all of China's history, speaks volumes about the beliefs prevalent at the time, blending the leader's authority, the spiritual needs, and the artistic craftsmanship of an ambitious and unprecedented project. Beyond their supposed role in the afterworld, the figures also represented a remarkable feat for Qin's dynasty, encapsulating the power and resources at the disposal of this ancient Chinese ruler. The sheer number of figures, along with their individuality and the complexity of their construction, suggests they were as much a statement of power as they were spiritual guardians. But symbolism extended beyond their military significance. The diverse range of terracotta sculptures, including infantry, chariots, horses, and even non-military figures such as musicians and acrobats, symbolize a microcosm of Qin's court, an empire frozen in clay. The army was not just a force of soldiers. It was a representation of the society and the structured and hierarchical world the emperor ruled over. These figures stood guard over a ruler who unified China, who standardized scripts, weights, and measures, and who laid the foundation for the Great Wall. They are cultural touchstones that link us to the very roots of China's storied history. By understanding the purpose and symbolism behind the Terracotta Army, we garner insight into the ideals and uncertainties of ancient China, glimpsing a world where the afterlife mirrored the living and where an emperor's power knew no bounds, not even death. And with that, we move closer to unraveling the layers of mystery shrouding Qin Shi Huang's silent sentinels as we continue to journey through the riveting chapters of history they have silently witnessed for over 2 millennia. Delving into the rich tapestry of ancient Chinese artistry, the Terracotta Army emerges as an outstanding representation, bridging the realms of sculpture and the martial heritage of an empire. Crafted with meticulous detail during the late 3rd century BC, each figure stands as an enduring testament to the creative and technical expertise of artisans under the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. Far beyond their aesthetic allure, the warriors exhibit the rigorous organization and formidable strength of Qin's military forces. Clad in armor, with weapons once at hand, now lost or eroded with time, their varied postures and features suggest a hierarchy reflective of the actual army's structure. The presence of chariots, horses, and even non-military personnel in the legion hints at a fully functional microcosm of a battle-ready force, mirroring the advanced military strategies of the time. The detail lavished upon each figure, from the distinct facial expressions to the intricate patterns in their armor, uncovers a wealth of knowledge regarding the contemporary craft techniques and the materials employed, such as lacquer for decoration and chrome plating for preservation and luster. This art not only exemplifies the aesthetic sensibilities of the era, but also showcases an ambitious endeavor in mass production, suggesting the presence of skilled labor and organized workshops capable of outfitting an army for eternity. We now delve beneath the surface at the very site where for more than 2 millennia, an ancient emperor's elite guard stood in silent formation. The ongoing excavations of the Terracotta Army continue to capture the world's imagination, unearthing new insights with each layer of soil they sift through. Archaeologists, equipped with the latest advancements in technology, meticulously work to reveal the full extent of this underground battalion, piece by piece, soldier by soldier. In the ever-expanding pits around the emperor's burial mound, the archaeologists employ ground-penetrating radar and sophisticated 3D imaging to peer into the earth without disturbing it. This non-invasive approach has uncovered new terracotta figures, even as recent as the discovery of 200 more warriors in October 2020. Furthermore, DNA analysis of the remnants found at the site offers a glimpse into the craftsmen who created this massive funerary art piece and the extensive labor force that once toiled here. Technology also assists in preserving the rich colors of the terracotta figures, which were once thought to have been monochrome. A combination of infrared scanning and multispectral imaging now meticulously records these hues, preventing their rapid fade once exposed to air. Meanwhile, digital mapping creates a detailed virtual model of the site, laying a foundation for research that spans across continents and disciplines, knitting together experts in ancient Chinese history, art, and military tactics. The work is painstaking, and every brushstroke against the earth may reveal yet another secret. In one of the more recent excavations, researchers have discovered evidence of musical instruments among the ranks, suggesting that these silent warriors were once assembled not just for battle, but also for the eternal symphony of the afterlife, echoing the emperor's power and prestige across the ages. With these ongoing excavations, the silent guardians of Qin Shi Huang continue to voice tales from our distant past, stories that are meticulously recorded and studied with each passing day. The modern mission to uncover the past isn't just about revealing artifacts, it's about piecing together the human story behind this awe-inspiring creation. Who were the individuals that crafted these statues? What can the layers of strata tell us about the society they lived in? Each discovery brings us closer not only to the cold clay of the warriors themselves, but also to the warm breath of life that once paced in the courts of ancient China. Here, within the quiet trenches and pits, history continues to unfold, narrated not in words, but through the silent testament of the Terracotta Army itself. As we approach the twilight of today's voyage through antiquity, it becomes essential to pause and consider the lasting echoes of the Terracotta Army. Unveiled to the world from their earthen shroud, these silent sentinels of China's first emperor have done more than merely fascinating onlookers. They've bridged a gap across millennia, offering us unparalleled insights into the past and carving their mark upon the cultural bedrock of nations near and far. Within the heart of China, the terracotta warriors resonate profoundly as embodiments of the country's extensive history and rich heritage. They serve as a tangible declaration of the nation's age-old traditions and its long-standing prowess in artisanship and military strategy. This army of clay has captivated the people of China, fostering a sense of pride and continuity from the era of Qin Shi Huang to the cosmopolitan China of today, and inviting every generation to delve into their own storied beginnings. Yet, the Terracotta Army's influence transcends borders, gripping the global imagination with its mystery and magnificence. Art aficionados, historians, and the casual observer alike stand in awe of this ancient feat, not only for its aesthetic caliber, but for the window it provides into an age where life and afterlife were strands woven closely together. They are a testament to warfare techniques of their time, revolutionary in their own right, where each warrior's armor, weapon, and even facial expression tells a subtle story of a bygone battlefield. Beyond their immediate grandeur, these figures challenge our understanding of the ancient world. They remind us that history is not only a series of events to be chronicled, but also a complex narrative where art, culture, and the spiritual desires of a people converge. The Terracotta Army, discovered by chance in 1974, alludes to practices and beliefs in the afterlife that were once paramount, highlighting a sophisticated civilization that viewed death as a continuation rather than an end. In this contemplative silence among the warriors, we find dialogue, a discourse of legacy and learning that impacts how we interpret ancient societies. Historians and archaeologists tirelessly decode the Terracotta Army's secrets, piecing together a story that contributes to the global lexicon of our shared antiquity. So, as we draw the curtains on today's narrative, let these ageless guardians inspire us all to reflect upon the indelible marks left by civilizations long past and the ones we are yet to leave for future generations to ponder. As we conclude our journey through time, alongside the stone ranks of Emperor Qin's guardians, we hope you've been as captivated as we are by the stories they silently stand to tell. If this march through history has inspired you, please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to suggest topics for future episodes. We treasure your input, and the suggestion with the most likes will stand a chance to be featured in an upcoming episode. Thank you for listening, and until next time, keep digging into the past that shapes our present.